Okay guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be making a top 6 tier list of this Premier League season. I think that this season was very interesting. I think it was one of the most entertaining seasons of the last few years. I guess you could add in the 2019 season. I think that was quite interesting as well. But last year, City ran with it. They had a bit of, a slow start, but they picked things back up, and when they did, it was a bit for everyone else. The season before, it was, the whole COVID business and whatnot. And the year before that, yes, there was that, that title run between Liverpool and City, but it wasn't quite as amazing or quite as entertaining as this season. So, this is the traditional top six, and the teams that actually finished in the top six this season. And we'll just be ranking them: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United, and Tottenham. I made predictions at the beginning of the season and on all of these teams, so I thought that would be a nice idea to rank these teams now. Okay, so we start with Arsenal. And my thing with Arsenal at the beginning of this season was that this was a team that would have to improve massively. Their main priority was to get back in the top six after finishing 8th in back-to-back seasons. This is not acceptable to a club of Arsenal's dimension, a club with such a rich history, a club who have a massive fan base, a club at the centre of England, London. A club as big as Arsenal could not be finishing back-to-back 8th. It's just not good enough. And one of the things I said at the beginning of the season was that a few players in the team would have to come up with, performances, actually begin to perform as they should. Mainly Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Odegaard. And I also said that Saka, this was the season for him to become that guy for Arsenal. And a few of those things did happen, and a few of those things did not happen. Mainly for Arsenal was that, Arteta was finally, given a chance to do his job properly. Yes, there was a lot of criticism at the beginning of the season, and a lot of people were calling for Arteta's head. But props to Arsenal's board for sticking to Arteta, for believing in his vision, and I think that it has paid off. Yes, sure, they missed out on top four at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, but for Arsenal to be 5th and to be in that race alone just shows the massive improvement that they've had over the past 12 months. 12 months or so. A player that has really impressed me this season, and the player that I picked to watch out for Arsenal's team, was Martin Odegaard. This man has had an amazing season, great goal contributions, but something I did not expect was how much of an impact in the leadership part of things Odegaard was going to have, given the captain's armband by Arteta towards the end of the season. So overall, Arsenal's season, I'll have to rank it good. I would say amazing. I would have said amazing if they had finished in the top 4, because that would have been from 8th place in back-to-back seasons to 4th place in the Champions League with teams like United and Tottenham behind them. Would have been something incredible. It would have been amazing. But I don't think that Arsenal were not that good, but they bottled it at the end. They should have finished 4th. It was like 3 games. Then they had to win they just had to win 3 games, and they didn't get the job done. So for Arsenal, we're going to put them back on good. Then we have Chelsea, a team that had massive expectations at the beginning of the season, a team that last year won the Champions League, and didn't do quite well in the Premier League, as we know, the whole Lampard business. But when Tuchel came in, the team looked new. I mean, towards the end of the season, they beat City in the Premier League, and then they went on and beat City in the Champions League to win the title. So this was a team that was very, very good last season. Into the summer, they bought Lukaku. They strengthened their midfield by signing Saul from Atletico Madrid. It was a team that you were just looking at and saying, maybe they'll finish above Liverpool and City. And a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of pundits, they put Chelsea above Liverpool and City. Me, personally, I didn't. I didn't, because I just knew that Liverpool back with Van Dijk, they were going to be dominant. And City, the way they were playing, nothing really changed about them. They could have had signed Harry Kane, but although they didn't sign Harry Kane, they were still dominating teams last season. So I picked Chelsea to finish third, and that's what happened. I'm not saying I'm a genius. Things happened, and I just predicted that Chelsea were not going to have that good of a season, not because of them per se, but because of Liverpool and City's dominance. Now Chelsea's season, this year at least, enough of last season. This year I'd say that they could have done better, because yes, they finished third. Yes, it's a great achievement to finish third in the Premier League. But one, the aspirations they had at the beginning of the season, finishing third is not good enough. And two, this finishing third is quite, it gives this illusion that they were, the third best team in the league. And yes, they were the third best team in the league, but it kind of feels like they were like the fourth best team in the league because of how far ahead City and Liverpool were. Chelsea, the distance between them and City and Liverpool was just too much for it to even be called a title race. And for that reason, we should factor in everything. I don't think they had a good season to their standards. I don't think that Chelsea even, I don't think it was meh, but I do think they could have done better. Chelsea could have massively done better. Then we have Liverpool, a team that, at least I predicted that they were going to finish second, and they did. But again, this was not really about, my opinion and if I was right. I mean, it is about my opinion, but it's not about, oh, you're wrong or right. This is about predictions are predictions at the end of the day. You just predict and you hope that it comes to fruition. And Liverpool did finish second, and I saw a lot of people putting Liverpool's season at good, but I'm going to put Liverpool's season at amazing. For this was one of the most entertaining title races of the last few years. And for them to go against City into the very last minute of the very last game of the season with 90 something points, crazy. You put this Liverpool, you put the amount of points Liverpool had this season compared to the other Premier League seasons, and they probably could have won majority of the seasons. And for that reason, I'm going to put Liverpool at amazing. And then you also have the fact that Salah was the best player in the Premier League. You have the fact that Van Dijk and Konate were just dominant and probably created the best defensive duo in the league this season. There was just so many good things going for Liverpool, and at the end of the day, it was just by one. How many points was it? 1 or 2 points they lost the league by. Really unlucky. And for City, they won the league. They go into amazing straight away. Nothing to debate here. I'm going to put them right here. Oh, yeah, perfect. I'm going to put City at amazing because they won it. What the hell? Why do I have to explain myself? When it comes to City winning the Premier League, they are amazing. They had an amazing season. The objective of every team, at least most teams, is to win the title, and they done it. So it was amazing. Yeah, just City, another dominant year. Not very much to say here. Manchester United next. This is a team that at the beginning of the season, a team that finished second last year and going to the Europa League final. They did lose the Premier League and Europa League final, but coming into this season, the expectations were very high, and the summer transfer window they had was the second best transfer window in my opinion, just behind PSG. They went and signed Varane and Sancho, two players that they desperately needed. They needed a centre-back, a winger, a right winger, and a CDM. They got the best centre-back they could get. They got the best right winger they could get. They didn't get a CDM, but they got Ronaldo. They got Ronaldo, the best player in the world. You can argue Messi. I don't really care. I give it to both of them. You can say Messi is the best player in the world. You can say Ronaldo is the best in the world. The difference between the two is not very big. So, Ronaldo, the best player in the world. Arguably the best player of, ever. Again, with Messi. They went and got him. And a lot of people have pointed out that, this was perhaps their mistake, signing Ronaldo into the CDM. But to that I say, just talking about the hype at the beginning of the season, the expectations for United were to finish at the bare minimum in the top 3 and to go into the last game of the season into the title run and to get to at least the quarter semi-final of the Champions League. United finished 6th in the Premier League. They got knocked out in the first round of the FA Cup, first round of the Carabao Cup, and first competitive round of 16 round in the Champions League. They were awful. But just in the Premier League alone, I think it was just as bad as every competition. When you're talking about United, the expectations they had and what they have done, it has to be disappointing. This is in my opinion at least, this is the worst season they've had since Fergie. You could argue Moyes, but Moyes, you didn't really know what you were going to get into. Yes, they had won the title the season before and they finished pretty low in that for their standards, but it was really a hit or miss with that one, you know. This season, the expectations were so high, and the performance is like the expectation was saying the performance was here. You have to put it at disappointing. And then we have Tottenham. And for Tottenham, I say that this team have really impressed me. I picked Tottenham to finish 5th this season. I did not believe in Tottenham one bit, but they bought in Conte, which was a very, very, very good signing. A manager that United were going to sign. They got Conte in, and they finished Champions League. What more do you want from this side? This side is not better than United. They finished above them, and they managed to get themselves in the Champions League. That's really, for that I say they had a good season. I would say amazing, but no, it's not. It wasn't that good, guys. Come on. But yeah, that's the list, guys. Yeah, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more game analysis, football history, individual performances, top 10s, etc. This is the beginning of something special, and it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and helped me to grow this channel.